Okay, I'm gonna talk about how I record EVPs and the best way that I found to record EVPs for people who are interested in trying to capture some EVPs around their house or around your house. If you've got some activity and you want to gather some evidence, like I did, um, I've been doing this for 2 years, every single day. Um, I think my advice is pretty valid. It's not something that can be subjective for, your likes, your dislikes. What you prefer is irrelevant. This is the best way that I found to record EVPs. Um, and I'm also going to share with you a very common sound that I've gotten over the last couple of years. I've got it countless times, and to this day, I still cannot explain what it is. I've had people say that it's just an artifact of the sound of the environment that the recorder is interpreting, but I'm not so sure about that. That's probably the most common answer that I've gotten. The answer hasn't been anything paranormal. The answer has been it's natural sound. Um, but if that were true, then I would have heard it. I mean, I've heard a lot of recordings. I've made recordings of, I've shot video. I've done sound recordings and other events that weren't paranormal related, and I didn't hear it in them. So why am I hearing it in these and I didn't hear it in them? So there's some contradictions to that explanation. Um, the best thing that I found to do, and it's really the only thing that makes sense to me, is to make sure that your environment is absolutely sterile of unnecessary sound. Um, you want to turn your fans off. If you have fans going, we have a lot of fans going in our house. So we'll have to turn all those off, turn the air off. You don't want any central air. Um, Either the sound coming to the vents or the sound from the unit itself. You want to make sure that's not going. Any bathroom fans off in the distance that you have, you want to shut those off. Make sure your windows are closed, your doors are closed. Um, and there's like if you're like me, if you have animals, there's some things that you can't control. I've got birds, I've got dogs, and I can't always, make them be quiet. Now I can cover my birds up when I'm doing the recordings, but usually when I do EVP recordings, I'm going to be doing them for a while, and I don't want to leave my birds covered up when the sun's coming in and they're all happy and singing and everything. So best time for me to do the EVP recordings is at night. And I can do them anytime because I've got activity all over here 24/7. So it doesn't really matter what time of day it is. Um, but I found that night it's a little bit more active. I can turn the lights down a little bit. And now I will do EVP recordings during the day if I've got a lot of um, subsequent activity. Like just now, I did an EVP session because as I was sitting and watching a video on YouTube, I noticed something out of the corner of my eye. Now that happens a lot. You get peripheral little zip zap, here and there, and you're like, "What was that? What was that?" Well, this was pretty defined. That was probably the clearest peripheral image. What is that? Okay, well this might be a part of all this. I had probably the clearest peripheral image that I think I've ever had, and what it was, excuse my bag of trash I have to take out. It went this way, and it went right over the see where the light's hitting my refrigerator. It blocked that light out and went that way, and I was like, "Whoa, what was that?" So I decided to get up and do an EVP session. So I shut everything off. I did an EVP session for about 5.5 minutes, and one of the things that I captured was that sound that I'm going to play for you. The best way that I can describe it is it sounds like somebody putting their hand in a bathtub full of water and swirling their hand around. That's the best that I can equate to. Um, and it was on the very first EVP recording I ever did. When I had stuff happening and I put my uh, the phone that I used for my EVPs in my bedroom, I got that sound. Now, there's a few sounds that I get a lot of that I can't explain. The other one is, and it's on this one too, it sounds like somebody going, shh. That's what it sounds like. And usually when I get that, I don't get anything else. So I'm thinking that at least it's a possibility. I'm not saying this is what it is, but it's at least a possibility that if it is paranormal, it could be someone telling the others, hey, shh, he's recording. Don't say anything, you know? Because when I don't have that sound in my recordings, I've just got, well, you've heard my EVP recordings. I mean, it's just off the wall crazy. Um, so I'm going to play that sound for you right now. I still have not discovered what this is. I haven't come up with a logical explanation for it, and I haven't had anyone else come up with a logical explanation for it. Now, people saying, well, it's just an artifact, a sound artifact in the environment. Well, that's great, but what is that? Well, what is a sound artifact in the environment? I don't know what that is. I'm sitting here and I can't hear anything. And this is pretty prominent in the recording, so I should be able to hear it with my ears if it was an artifact from the sound artifact from the environment. And it's all through this recording, so I'll have to find the best place for it. Here. I have no idea what that is. Like I said, it's quiet in here. I don't have anything going. I don't even think my refrigerator was running. My refrigerator kicks on every now and then, but I don't even think it was running. So I have no idea what that is. And the other sound, I'll have to find one of them. It's like, shh, that's what it sounds like. Let me find it real quick. Okay, well, I didn't have it. It was my birds chirping, but I haven't had birds for that long. So the other times that I've recorded it, I could easily do a couple more recordings today and come up with a good example because I do get it in quite a few of my recordings. But it sounds like somebody going, shh. And I think actually I addressed that a couple of times in prior videos. I'm not sure exactly which video, but I do address it in some previous videos. So getting back to preparing your house, that's the best way that I can, the best advice that I can give you is to make sure it's absolutely as quiet as you can possibly get it. Now, there's some things you can't control, like you can't control your refrigerator turning on, unless you want to turn your refrigerator off, which I don't. If you have animals, you can't control, when your animals are going to make noise. I'm not going to lock my dogs back in a room because I want to do an EVP session, because then they're just going to pound on the door and it's going to make more noise. So it's better. Usually when I do it, they're asleep and, and they're not up running around or anything. Now, that sound that was behind me, I'm going to have to listen to that. I'm not real sure what that was. Could have been my dogs. They are back behind me. They're asleep. But I'm going to have to listen to that. It sounded like a disembodied voice is what it sounded like, but I'll check that out. I am going to do a ghost tube box session today. I'm going to have the house to myself tonight, so I'm going to do that. Of course, if I get anything, I'll be sure and put it in a video. I'll talk to you later.